Have you ever caught yourself staring at your cat and wondering whether that sleek black coat, fiery ginger fur, or snowy white jacket actually hints at a hidden personality code? Feline folklore has long insisted that color predicts character, from the affectionate black house panther to the mythical mood swings of tortoiseshells. Over the past decade, scientists have tried to separate superstition from fact, asking tens of thousands of guardians to describe how their pets behave, and then mapping those answers against coat, eye, and even paw-pad shades. While no researcher claims color alone seals a cat's fate, a handful of patterns do appear often enough to make anyone living with a whiskered roommate sit up and take notice. At the heart of this conversation is a simple question: can pigment genes influence the brain? A team at the University of California, Davis opened the door in the early 2010s when they surveyed several thousand owners and discovered black-coated cats were consistently rated as calmer, easier to handle, and, somewhat unexpectedly, friendlier to strangers than their orange or white counterparts. Around the same time, behaviorists at the University of Michigan measured activity levels in shelter cats and found the jet black residents romped, climbed, and chased toys more enthusiastically than their gray or cream neighbors. Those results echoed an older European study that had tagged gray cats as the least playful of the bunch. The numbers are not ironclad, yet the trend appears often enough that many shelters now highlight play potential when marketing dark-coated cats, who might otherwise be overlooked. So what might be going on behind those luminous yellow eyes? One theory points toward the way pigment and neurotransmitter pathways share raw chemical ingredients. Melanin, the substance that decides whether fur grows black or red, requires some of the same biochemical precursors that fuel dopamine production. Dopamine, of course, is one of the brain's principal motivation messengers. If a genotype nudges the body to funnel more resources to one pathway than the other, subtle differences in curiosity, persistence, or confidence could result. That doesn't mean every onyx-colored cat is a born socialite, or that every powder gray feline will snooze through life, but it does suggest the matchup is more than coincidence. Consider the famously photogenic white cat. A study in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found pure white coats correlated with shyness and startle reactivity. The researchers believe genetics may again be at play. Some all-white cats carry a gene that can affect inner ear structure, leaving them slightly less certain of their auditory surroundings. Even when a specific cat hears perfectly, the inherited wiring may still prime the nervous system for caution. Owners of white cats often report an independent streak, fewer demands for lap time, more willingness to spend an afternoon supervising the world from a windowsill. Yet when these alabaster beauties choose to bond, the relationship can be remarkably deep, perhaps because the cat has decided the guardian is a genuinely safe harbor. At the opposite end of the spectrum blaze the red or ginger cats. Geneticists know the orange pigment is linked to the X chromosome, which means virtually every marmalade cat you meet is male. A Cornell University survey discovered that guardians describe their ginger boys as assertive, confident, and irresistibly people-oriented, traits one might expect from an animal whose ancestors were prized barn hunters. Modern orange tabbies frequently keep one paw in the hunting past, demanding raucous play sessions, stalking feather wands with single-minded fervor, and leading their households on merry chases around the couch. Their boldness can occasionally spill into stubbornness, but fans swear it is impossible to hold a grudge against a cat who bounds back 5 minutes later with a shirt. And a quieter energy often emerges. Guardians of Russian blues, British shorthairs, and generic gray mixes describe cats who radiate unflappable composure. They greet new situations with a reserved curiosity rather than instant enthusiasm. Play sessions happen, yet with measured grace rather than hurricane vigor. In the Davis survey, gray cats received the lowest hyperactivity scores of any coat group. This laid-back temperament can be a blessing for families craving peace, though adopters should remember a calm cat still needs daily enrichment. The difference is that a gray companion may prefer puzzle feeders or gentle wand toys to full-tilt obstacle courses. Then there are the multicolored marvels, the tortoiseshells, calicos, and their close cousins. Because the orange gene sits on the X chromosome and the black gene can appear on either, the patchwork pattern virtually always belongs to females. Genetic mosaics can extend beyond fur, potentially influencing hormone reception in the brain. That might explain why survey after survey finds torties and calicos rated high for what owners call spice, quick, bright intelligence coupled with a readiness to voice opinions. One minute a calico may drape herself across your shoulder like a silk scarf. The next, she scrambles down to stake out a sunny spot under the potted fern. Behaviorists caution that labeling these cats moody isn't fair. They are simply decisive and vigorously expressive. Understanding that tempo helps guardians channel the energy into clicker training or agility tunnels instead of midnight yowling sessions. Pattern isn't limited to the torso. Researchers have begun flirting with the idea that paw-pad pigment hints at temperament too. Pink-padded cats, especially those with cream or dilute coats, routinely score as gentle and eager to socialize, perhaps because their genetic package also softens hormonal edges. Black-padded cats, matching the shadowy fur of their wild cousins, receive more watchful marks on behavioral questionnaires, preferring to evaluate a situation fully before stepping into the spotlight. Those sporting a mottled blend of pink and black often demonstrate a pleasing balance, ready to greet visitors but equally content while their people are at work. While the paw theory remains in its infancy, many longtime rescuers swear they can guess a newcomer's confidence level within hours, just by glancing at those tiny toe beans. All of these tendencies, of course, blossom or wither under the influence of environment. A ginger kitten denied play outlets can morph into a frustrated furniture destroyer, whereas a gray adolescent flooded with positive social experiences may become downright outgoing. Early handling, household routine, and guardian demeanor shape the raw genetic clay. That is why the University of Michigan team emphasized that color accounted for only a modest percentage of personality variance. The rest lay in daily life. So, what can a guardian do to honor these innate hues while guiding a cat toward confident, affectionate adulthood? Begin by meeting the energy where it lives. Your sleek black youngster might thrive on twice daily wand sessions that mimic hunting sprints, reinforcing the active tendencies linked to his coat while preventing boredom aggression. Your porcelain white princess could benefit from predictable routines and plenty of lofted retreats, signaling she can survey the world on her own terms. Ginger or tortie housemates will relish interactive puzzle toys that let them problem solve and show off those bold brains. For soft-spoken grays, low-key activities such as scent games, sprinkling catgrass, or hiding silver vine pouches may unlock surprising enthusiasm without overwhelming their senses. Whatever the shade, socialization remains pivotal. The slow blink greeting, proven effective across coat groups, works because it transcends color. It speaks to the universal feline need for safety. Pair that with calm vocal tones, and you communicate acceptance to every cat, from coal black to Snow White. Respect body language, especially tail and ear position, to avoid pushing a shy blue or anxious calico into defensive mode. Reward voluntary approach rather than forcing cuddles, and you'll watch trust bloom no matter the pattern. For adopters pondering shelter cages filled with ebony, ginger, marble, and pearl, color can serve as a conversation starter rather than a verdict. Ask volunteers for anecdotes. Does this black juvenile bounce off walls or prefer lap time? Does that white adult come forward for chin scratches once she knows you, or does she hang back even after weeks? Remember, each cat is an individual. Portrait painted atop a genetic canvas. Finally, relish the quirks. Perhaps your tortoiseshell chases imaginary mice at 3 a.m., or your tuxedo insists on supervising every Zoom call. Maybe a pair of mismatched paw pads taps your cheek each dawn, demanding breakfast. Those idiosyncrasies, shaped by pigment, polished by experience, create the stories we tell friends and the memories that linger long after whiskers fade to silver. In embracing both the science and the mystery of coat color, we honor the splendid diversity of the species that shares our sofas and our hearts. If the kaleidoscope of feline hues intrigues you, keep exploring. The emerging field of catanomics is uncovering links between genes, hormones, and behavior that could one day help shelters match personalities to households with uncanny precision. For now, observe your own companion. Notice how sunlight deepens the copper in her fur, or how moonlight silvers his whiskers, and ask yourself, what secrets might those pigments whisper about the lively mind within?